All
Done.
sessions we have to start in time, we have to end in time.
Good evening, members. I, C. Raj Chawla, welcome you all in this webathon on decoding income tax law. In our today's session, we will cover concept of income and residential status, section 3, 4, 5, and 6 by C.A. Sunil Arora ji. It is my pleasure to welcome C.A. Sunil Arora ji, a very senior chartered accountant, who will speak of this seminar, and I am thankful for sparing his valuable time to guide us. Our today session chairman is Advocate C. Aseem Chawla ji, a very senior corporate lawyer, and our mentor of this session is C.A. Sunil Garg. Welcome, Sunil ji. Dear members, in the inauguration of our webathon, around 4,000 members viewed our webinar on general introduction of income tax by C.A. Girish Ahuja ji. We have planned this series of 40 sessions in 4 months, every Wednesday and Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. I request all the members to please join and watch our this webathon. And now I request C.A. Sunil Garg to please take up this webathon. Sunil ji, please.
First of all, thank you, Raji, for your continuous efforts towards the profession, lighting the lamps and spreading the knowledge. And I am very much thankful to Shri Aseem Chawla ji, who actually, I mooted the idea, but he made this idea a reality. The whole course, how to, what course we have to conduct, what modules and what topics of interest, of professional interest should be taken up. He has been a mentor to this course, friends, and now this is day 2 of that session. As Raji mentioned, around 40 webinars we are going to have to cover this journey of Income Tax Act and allied laws. And on day 1, Mr. I.P. Bansal, while inaugurating this session, he said, Article 265 of the Constitution says, no tax shall be collected or levied without authority of law. देखिए, मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि सेक्शन 4, 5, 6 और 9, ये 4 सेक्शंस पहले पढ़ने पड़ेंगे अगर आपको इनकम टैक्स एक्ट को समझना है और उसको जानना है. क्योंकि हम लोग गलती क्या करते हैं, हम सीधा हेड ऑफ इनकम पे चले जाते हैं, क्योंकि हम बिजनेस में बहुत ज्यादा काम करते हैं तो बिजनेस इनकम के बारे में बहुत सोचते हैं. बट विदाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग 4, 5, 6 and 9, the journey couldn't be started. And we are having 2 sessions for that. Today, one of the star speakers, Sri Sunil Arora ji, will take section 4, 5 and 6. And on coming Wednesday, our Aseem Chawla ji will be taking section 9. Just to set the tone of the webinar, what I understood about this section 4, 5, 9, as I said, friends, कि Article 265 कहता है कि साहब आप अथॉरिटी के बिना, without the authority of law, you cannot collect the taxes. और ये constitution
245,
265 sir, article.
Okay, go ahead.
And then there is a division between the state and central governments, and 7 schedules. Entry 82 says that taxes on income other than agriculture income has to be levied by the central government. And section 4 of the Income Tax Act, that gives the central government to enact act and to charge the tax at the rate prescribed. Now, in our India, in our country, basically we are charging tax on the basis of residence. That is section 6. But the relevance of section 5 is so much because we charge tax on total income. And total income, बड़ी छोटी सी definition है, बड़ी काम की definition है. Total income is amount of income referred to in section 5 and computed as per the provision of this act. तो सेक्शन 5 में जो इनकम बताई गई, जो स्कोप ऑफ टोटल इनकम है, देखिए टैक्स टोटल इनकम पर लगना है. और कंप्यूटेशन मैकेनिज्म जो दे रखा है, इसका मतलब है कि पहले एक इनकम हो 2 क्लॉज 24 में जो फॉल करे, फिर वो स्कोप ऑफ टोटल इनकम में उसकी टैक्सेबिलिटी ये बताएगा कि साहब नॉन रेजिडेंट केस में क्या होगा, रेजिडेंट केस में क्या होगा, एनुअल के केस में क्या होगा. तो आज हम इस सेक्शन 5 को डिकोड करेंगे. और सेक्शन 5 में जैसे हम सुनते हैं कि रेजिडेंट के केस में क्या है कि आपकी इनकम डीम टू एक्रू और अराइज इन इंडिया, डीम टू रिसीव और इन इंडिया, लेकिन जब उसकी ग्लोबल इनकम टैक्स करते हैं तो वहां पे केवल एक्रू और अराइज आउट ऑफ इंडिया, क्योंकि डीमिंग प्रोविजन हम विदेश में थोड़ा लगा सकते हैं. We will see the nitty-gritties of all these things. And Finance Act 2020 बहुत बड़ा चेंज फाइनेंस एक्ट 2020 में किया था, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पे टैक्सिंग स्ट्रक्चर है रेजिडेंस बेस्ड टैक्सेशन हम लगाते हैं. तो फाइनेंस एक्ट 2020 ने दो चीजें बड़ी चेंज की. एक तो ये चेंज किया कि डीम्ड रेजिडेंसी का कंसेप्ट लेके आ गए 6(1) कैपिटल ए. तो मैं अरोड़ा जी से कहूंगा कि 6(1) कैपिटल ए की क्या निटिग्रिटी है, बड़ी ह्यू एंड क्राई हुई थी. और जब फाइनल एक्ट पास हुआ तो फिर कहा कि साहब डीम्ड रेजिडेंट विल बी अ नॉट ऑर्डिनरी रेजिडेंट. और दूसरी बात क्या कही थी कि जो पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन और इंडियन सिटीजन, देखिए रेजिडेंस बेस्ड टैक्स है लेकिन इंडियन सिटीजन भी कहीं ना कहीं एक्ट में आता है. तो पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन और इंडियन सिटीजन जो पहले 181 दिन तक इंडिया में आ भी जाते थे तो उनको रेजिडेंस नॉन रेजिडेंट का स्टेटस रहता था. उसको कम कर दिया कि अगर आपकी इंडिया में 15 लाख रुपए की इनकम इंडियन सोर्सेज से है तो आप 120 दिन के बाद में एनओआर हो जाओगे, और अगर 15 लाख से नहीं है तो फिर वही पुराना 181 दिन चलेगा आपका. इनकी निटिग्रिटीज क्या है, इससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है टैक्सेबिलिटी पे, चार्जेबिलिटी पे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, ये सारी बातें आज हम समझेंगे सुनील अरोड़ा जी से. नाउ आई हैंड ओवर द माइक अगेन टू राज चावला जी फॉर नेक्स्ट प्रोसीडिंग्स. थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स.
Thank you, CA Sunil Gaji. Now I request our session chairman, Advocate C. Aseem Chawla ji, to please say few words.
Thank you, Raji. Thank you to Garg Saab for his usual charitable words. I mean, if any, I mean, we will end up giving credit to each other, but Sunil ji's effort unquestionably is paramount in this particular pursuit of Raji of knowledge dissemination. I will not take much time because I think everybody, including us and the delegates present virtually, are very keen to hear Sunil ji here. My fondness for him goes back to very many years when he is still one of the guardians of the accountancy profession, but at that point in time he was at the rostrum of I think our regional council and has done very well. Picking forward from what Garg Saab said, and maybe I didn't hear it correctly, he was referring to 265, and I thought for a moment he's referring to 245. Article 245 of the Constitution deals with the legislative competence, and Parliament may make laws for any part of the territory of India. And if you look at Section 1, subsection 2, the Income Tax Act extends to whole of India, and India is a defined term in Section 2, subsection 25. I'm sure all of you have read the definition of what is India in the definition provision. Now, if you look at what Sunil ji will extensively take through in the ensuing in the ensuing about 100 odd minutes, which we've requested him to do, is to focus on these pillar provisions, as Garg Saab did said, that you ought to be very mindful of Section 4 onwards, which is encapsulated in Chapter 2, which is titled as basis of charge. And therefore, when you are looking at things like scope of total income, of course, all this we will try to supplement in a latter part, looking at 9. But if you were to just look at 4, 5 and the subsequent provisions, these are the basis of charge. So your scope, your status in 6, 4 bringing the charge put together is the integrated code. Of course, there are issues with regard to the ever stretching envelope of income tax laws, and therefore to what extent you could stretch it. And when you say the act extends to whole of India, and you are looking at the legislative competence and the issues of extraterritoriality, we'll discuss it as we walk along in this very long journey of 40 part webathon series. So without much ado, over to you, Sunil ji.